Okay, we made it. Excellent. So welcome to my live stream. Glad to be here on this fairly warm Friday afternoon, 2:30 Friday afternoon Central Time, U.S. So 1:30 Mountain and 12:30 Pacific, and then I think 7:30 UK time. So anyway, I'm glad to have you here. So this is kind of my time every week, not every week. We'll get into the scheduling part here in a minute. This Fridays at 2:30 is kind of my time to live stream. Not every Friday, but we'll talk about that. So so my name's Todd Rains, and this week or this series, we're going to be talking about BottleStoppers. And so we'll get into that as well. As you can see behind me, this side, it's a 6-episode tag team series with Cindy Drozda. So Cindy did an hour live stream yesterday afternoon. Her time is 1 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central on Thursdays, every other Thursday. And so we thought, well, why don't we kind of tag team? And so this first week, we're doing it back to back. And then from now on, we'll kind of tag team once a week. So between us. So excellent. Oh, geez, I got that wrong. 8:30 UK time. So let me say hi to a few folks. We got Philip over in the UK. Thank you, Philip, for joining. Appreciate it. And good to have you here. Chris, good to have you here. Saw you last night. Nice to have you here again. And Hodgepodge, I think you're out of Houston. I think I remember you saying yesterday. So welcome here. You must be warm as well. Chuck, good to have you here. Thank you. And our friend David Perez up in Oregon. 66 degrees and overcast, but a big heat dome coming in the next week. 66 is nice, David. Don't rub it in. All right. My friend Nick down in San Antonio. Good to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for joining, Nick. And yep, Houston it is. All right, excellent. Well, good to have some folks here, some new folks joining, and some of the old gang. So good to have you here. So we're going to talk a little bit about BottleStoppers. Carl Jacobson stopped in, so we'll talk about that as well. Thanks for dropping in, Carl. We thought BottleStoppers, Cindy and I, would be so first of all, years ago when she started Woodturning, her story is that she's told many times is that she started selling BottleStoppers at craft fairs, and so that was how she developed her design and shape and form sort of ideas, and they kind of were the I guess the beginnings of how her finial designs came about. So they're a great foil, a great sort of project to experiment with shape and form, different woods, materials, using different finishes and textures, and all kinds of stuff. So we thought this would be kind of a good series to kind of kick around the different ways we go about it. I've never done a cork one, so Cindy showed her dowel and cork version. I've turned the metal BottleStoppers. Haven't turned a whole lot of them. I don't sell my work. Most of it is given away or around the houses. These are great gifts, by the way. I did BottleStoppers a couple Christmases ago. Gave to some friends. Gave to the postman, who was very good to us. Gave to a few other folks in. Service us, I guess, that way. So they're great for that. So, but I do like the small project, being able to kind of crank those out and experiment. So that's what we're going to look at today. And so my take on it is from my perspective, and not being a production turner, not selling my work, but looking at how I would produce and other kinds of people produce BottleStoppers. So we'll look at all those things as we go through. So a few more people stopped in. My friend Tony, good to see you here again. Thank you for dropping in. Let's see. No. Okay, Hodgepodge is talking. Carl's going to be in SWAT with Niles merchandise, so excellent. Cindy's here. Thank you for joining in. Hot and sunny Colorado. Yep, absolutely. So that's that one there. I do have the fan on, so if you do hear the noise, please let me know and I can turn it off. But I'm just getting a bit of fresh air. So let me punch over to this shot. So do I want to do that now? Let me just see what's next here. Oh, let's do this. Let me just do a little infomercial, if you would. So this is how you reach me. My business card there on the website and stuff. And while we're there, I'm going to do this. A little bit of a commercial break here, but I wanted to bring a couple things to you guys' attention. So this is the website. If you go, there are a couple things. Obviously, the new Max 4, the big banner on the front is we've got those coming in. So just actually it's almost sold out of the first shipment. So, but under the sharpening section, which is under, oops, didn't mean to click that. There are a couple of things to be aware of. One is the dual base true grind system is on sale. It's just right below my head there. Oops, this stupid thing. There we go. $149 up here. So that's on sale from $179. That gets you the two base system. The single base system, I got to change that picture. I thought I did change that, but is $139. So the dual base system is on sale. The other thing we got down below is CBN wheels. So we've got a stock, a little bit of stock. Let me just change this layout so I can get rid of myself. 180 grit CBN wheels, 8-inch version and a 6-inch version. So that's something to be aware of as well. So I think I clicked into that. So I did not. So they're highlighted there. So just wanted to be aware of that and make sure those are new items that we brought in, and we'll be looking to see how those go and if you guys like those. So on to the schedule. So let me talk about BottleStoppers again. When Cindy mentioned yesterday we're going to kind of alternate every week, it's true, but we got to get on that schedule. So today or yesterday, Thursday, Cindy did hers. Friday, July 22nd, I'm doing right now. I'll be here next Friday, so the 29th. I will kind of do my second episode in this series, and then from there we'll go every other week or every week, alternating between us. So, but we had to get onto that schedule. So 29th is, so the 22nd and 29th is me back to back. And which is today and next Friday, and then after that, August 4th, Cindy, and then back to me on the 12th for we got a few ideas. Those ideas may change. So texture, wood inlay, resin inlay, burl, those kind of things. So up until the 18th is the last session, and that is right before SWAT. So something to think about. So that means my next episode after that, the Friday the 25th, will be hopefully live from SWAT. So I'll see how busy I am, but I'll try and get a short live stream in from the trade show floor. So look for that on the 25th. And let's see. Next. So this is Cindy's graphic for doing the same thing, YouTube and Facebook. She also does Twitch. I just do YouTube and Facebook, alternating Thursdays and Fridays, the times there. So, and then I think she's got another graphic there I'm going to show. Same sort of thing. She'll be posting that. So, here are a few the picture that I had on my front graphic, and I'm going to have a better picture here showing this one. So this is live, and that is a little overexposed. So bear with me as I touch the camera and just turn that down wrong way. There we go. A little too dark. How about there? This is just awfully white. That's all. So these are some of the items that I had in that photo, and I'll take a look at them. Not all of them are mine, but yes. Joe is here from Missouri. Good to have you here, Joe. Oops, didn't quite get that one. There we go. And live from the SWAT trade show floor. We'll see. We'll see. The snowman would make a great bottle stopper, and they do. And so these were actually this snowman, snowwoman, snowman, and the bell were produced by a good friend of mine, Robert Pope, one of our club members. And underneath them, they have the bottle stopper down in there. So they're great for Christmas gifts. If you decorate your wine bottle after it's finished, you pop that on. Makes a great centerpiece. They make great gifts, and so that kind of thing. And then the bell is nicely textured, and then I think it's painted gold, and some glitter green on the handle, bow, and a couple of bells. But a bottle stopper in there nonetheless. So yeah, very cool. And I just realized I didn't actually even turn on my fourth camera, so I'll do that now and just let it get started up. These other ones down here, we've got 1, 2 that I've made, another one from somebody else. I think I got at a raffle, and this is inlaid one of those state quarters, that series of state quarters we had. So I think this was Pete. I can't remember his last name from the club. So Pete Y. What was his last? I can't remember his last name, but anyway, Chris may or may not remember him. Chris is one of the club members too. And this one, I've lost the stopper on it, but this was an old one. I think I turned this like 20 years ago or so. Nice piece of mahogany though, but well weathered. I will say that I had some when I first started. This one's kind of a piece of rosewood or something, maybe cocobolo. I did have some problems with some of the metal bottle stoppers out on the market. Some of them do pit and rust, but excuse my arm again. Sorry about that. I didn't quite get that other camera on there, and just waiting for it to come up. But the stainless steel ones shouldn't have that issue. This was probably one of the knockoff suppliers somewhere. I can't remember, but be aware, good quality stoppers, and you should not have that problem. Of course, don't leave your stopper in the wine bottle too long. Drink the wine. So. And they're also good for other things, other bottles, not just wine. So let's see. Okay, good comment. Could put the snowman eyes a bit crooked and make him look a little bit inebriated. I suppose, if you wanted to go that route, sure. And then it's a cool idea of recessing the stopper inside the turning. Yeah. Robert did a great job in this. Robert's been a long time club member, and the wife and I bought these at the Christmas auction probably 10 years ago or so. So yeah, and Joaquin, good to have you here. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it, my friend. Concealed bottle stoppers. Even sitting like this, they look great, right? They're just kind of a nice Christmas decoration sitting on the buffet or the table or whatever, and lo and behold, you can cork your wine with it. So that brought me to, after yesterday's session Cindy did, I went, oh my gosh, I got to go and practice and do some. And so I did, and I'll just put it together a little off screen here for you. I've got one of the Niles bottle stoppers here. I don't know the part number, but it's not important at this point. But I had an idea, and so there's my bright idea. So this is a piece of oak that I dyed yellow. I put some black lacquer down here, and then covered it with silver gilt cream, and reminiscent of a light bulb. So that was kind of the idea. So I kind of like oak for this kind of effect because it's got the grain pattern that kind of makes it look like light rays, especially when you get to the top and you got the ray fleck pattern. This piece is not it's got a little bit of it up in there, so it's very cool. Finished with, I think I just sanded to 400, and then put I put a die coat, sanding sealer, and then another die coat on top of that, I believe. Well, before I did all that, I taped it off and painted, sprayed black lacquer on this bottom part, and then took the tape off and sprayed the lacquer, and then put yellow, sprayed the sanding sealer, put the yellow on it, and then lacquer on top. But we'll talk maybe more about this one next week when I do some textures and stuff, and we'll take a look at different tools, textures, and finishes. Today, I kind of wanted to focus on a bottle stopper that is a bit more natural, I guess. Just a lot of the early ones I did, these ones the wooden ones that show the wood grain and stuff, were basic, quick friction finishes on the lathe. So that's kind of what I wanted to look at today, and we'll pan over to this side of the table on the overhead. I think it's on overhead. Yeah, I'll just get small again, and we'll look at some of the tooling that I have and use for these metal bottle stoppers. So let's see. Carl says really cool. They are very cool, the concealed ones, and Joaquin's going to be making some, so good stuff. If you want better pictures, Joaquin, just email me. I'll take a closer picture, maybe get some dimensions, but it's pretty easy to figure out, I think. Let me get one. I'll just show overhead and get a tighter shot. So let me zoom in. So there's the stopper down here. So you can see the walls are fairly straight. So it looks like it's just a drill, whatever that size is. I'm not quite sure. And drilled out the blank, created the profile outside shape. Of course, there's a hole down in there to hold the stopper. I'm not sure if Robert glued these in. It kind of feels like maybe he did. So they're pretty permanent in there. And then the decorations, a couple of paint dots, white with black and all that kind of stuff. The hat, it looks integral. It's all one piece of wood, so it's all turned. This red band looks like a piece of this ribbon glued on. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if this other camera might get a better exposed shot of that. I always like to see if my cameras are doing what they should be. Let's see. Not bad. It's a little dark. I'll fix that exposure. There you go. So there's a happy camper, and then the female was just the different colored hat, more of a bolo hat on the Mrs. Snowman. So, and green ribbon on the hat band. Same idea though, just a drilled hole, looks like. So yeah, those are very cool. The bell is a bit more shaped on the inside, so it's probably drilled out and then shaped rim here, and then the outside shape, of course, to complement. The integral finial, it's all one piece of wood, I'm pretty sure. So excellent. Okay, back to tooling. So let me widen back out a bit. And one more. There we go. That should do it. So David, good to have you here. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. So there's going to be a lot of snow people in Texas. Tony's going to make some as well. Excellent. Yeah, going to make great gifts, that's for sure. So like I said, I haven't done any cork ones. I've always done the stainless steel ones. So here's a couple from a kit, and that other one I had that I took on, or put on the light bulb. So we'll make one for one of these. They're all the same threads. These ones, 3/16 by 3/8 by 16 threads per inch. And so if you go to Niles BottleStoppers, there's the card, nilesbottlestoppers.com. I think you even got a thing here, if I can find it. There it is. Then you can buy all your stoppers there, and you can buy the equipment to do it. So, or at least, the tooling needed. So, we've got drill bits. I've got 2 drill bit sizes. I got a 5/16 and 11/32. I'm liking the 5/16 better for the tap size. It's an 1/8 inch smaller than the tap hole, 3/16. So or a 16th smaller. So that works better for me. The taps, Ruth did have 2 different styles of taps. We pull this one out that she sent me a year and a half ago, and I'll zoom in a little bit. We'll take a look. So I'm not 100% sure what she settled on or what they have in stock now. But there's a bottom tap which has sort of threads the same diameter all the way to the bottom, and then a taper tap which has threads tapering to a point. And so these are mostly made for blind holes or holes that don't have an exit. And these are made usually for through holes and stuff like that. So, but I find that since we're doing a blind hole on these stoppers, I like the bottoming tap to use them with. They're 3/8 by 16 threads, which I keep getting that 6 and 16 and 8 backwards. What I have in my tap holder is one that I bought not from Ruth, but from another source, MSC, I think, because I use it for metal, some metal work as well. So this one works. It's fairly aggressive. It's a helical coil. It's a bottoming tap, so it works quite well. So I've got that in a tap handle. I put my own little wooden handles on the thing there, just a little bit more comfortable. The other thing I have is this retractable point. So it has a point that retracts. We'll show you how this is used, how I use this. It helps quite a bit for tapping on the lathe. So we'll take a look at that later. Again, MSC, I forget what this thing is called. I think it's called a tapping point or a tapping plunger or something like that. And then the last things, so the taps and the drill bits you can get from Niles. And then the next thing we need to talk about are the mandrels. Let me just set some of this tooling aside so we don't get it all dropping on the floor. And put that over there. Put that one. So there's 2, I don't know, maybe there's more now, I'm not quite sure, but there's 2 style of mandrels. One's got a Morse taper and one's got a thread for the spindle. And so that's, those are your options that I think. I haven't checked the web store for a while, so you can ask Carl and check on the website. So I tend to use this one, the one that's spindle driven. So the other thing that is in the kit, and it's black because I've painted it, are these little washers, and they just stand the wood off a little bit so you can get down to the close to the end. And I was mentioning to Cindy that I thought those were the right size washers for sizing the wood to the thing, but they're not quite. They're just a little bit smaller, but they would help. So in other words, if this washer was just a little bit bigger than this, it would be even better. But it's a bit sloppy on there, so it's going to be a problem. So the point being is that something spacing between Actually, it's going to be on the mandrel. So when this is on the mandrel, this size should or would like it to be the same size as this platform here on the stopper, or at least maybe a little bit bigger and a nice tight fit. So we could probably make some out of wood, thin pieces of wood, make some wooden washers, really just to offset so that when you go and are cutting this bottom part, you're not cutting into the mandrel and you got something to size to make it fit exactly on your stopper. So that's something we'll look at as we go through and turn this. The other last thing we need a Jacob's chuck. I've got the drill bit in here for drilling, and then blanks. So I've got a couple of blanks. These are a couple of oak blanks we'll use today. I had these already ready to go for Easter eggs during our spring vendor showcase challenge. So we'll use one of these today and turn it. I do like turning oak. Some people hate it, but a good white oak I think is a beautiful piece of wood, and it's lots of it around here in Texas. So let me catch up on the Cindy says going to be snow people in Colorado too. That'll be a great. Oops, sorry, I tapped that again. A great gift for a friend who likes to decorate her empty wine bottles. Yeah, absolutely. If you got decorated wine bottles, stick one of those on top. Chris, do you always tap your threads? Have you used the threaded brass inserts? No, I always tap mine. I haven't used the threaded brass inserts. Even with the brass inserts, if they're press in, then you're not tapping. But if they're threaded brass inserts, then usually the outsides are threaded as well. So plus you're going to need to drill a bigger hole, which means you have to drill one hole and then put the brass insert in. So yeah, if that's a valid method, I just have not done it. So I do use brass inserts in my woodworking. In fact, does it? Yeah, this guy get me off there again. My little depth finder gauge. It's got a little brass insert in it, so that works. This is 1/4 by 20. But yeah, there's certainly a place for that. Absolutely. So let's see next. Start with a taper tap and finish with a bottom tap. Yeah, certainly do that in metalworking. Even then, on what I'm doing, I don't. I just go straight to the bottom tap and I make it work. But that's the proper way to do it. We've got some spam going on here. Let me see if I can't. And that is YouTube. Bear with me a second. I gotta go throw somebody out. Let's see. View on YouTube. Oh, I got volume going there. Got to go to the studio, I think. Bear with me a second. Report. We'll just do that. Okay, let me see if I can just hide that user. See if that worked. Sorry about that. That's the first time I had a spammer on here. So, block user. Well, maybe that'll work too. There's a block user right inside StreamYard. Didn't know that. Yeah, silly bot. Yeah, thanks. Mary Alice, thank you for joining. Interesting. I got my first stoppers to try yesterday. Oh, good. Larry said I didn't do it. Okay, no worries. Yeah, so there's some bot for people on Facebook. There's some junk guy on. I think I got him stopped now on YouTube. So we got Mike Peace. Good to have you here. Update bad words and customization, and we'll hold the comments for review. Okay, yeah. Was there bad? I guess naked. I guess I could put that in the bad words. But yeah, something to think about. Thanks, Mike. So let's get on with the show. Let me remove this table, and we'll get to turning this stopper. We'll use the smaller one. We've got, and I didn't even set this up. This is how unorganized I am sometimes with setting up live streams, but this is where we all practice. So. And I hope everybody kind of gets the idea that bottle stoppers are kind of a fun project, and my camera is a little crooked. Let's just zoom out just a little bit and get me off there for a second. I'm just going to twist this camera a little bit. Get it back parallel. All right, so we'll get a chuck on here since I've already got a tenon on this guy. I'm going to get my new favorite little chuck, which is this little Axminster thing with these O'Donnell jaws. And this is the jaws that have these little inserts. And we don't need that yet, need this. So this little tenon is around 38 millimeters. And it's going to fit right in there. First thing we're going to do is face this end off. And we will then set to drill. So let's go ahead and do that. Bring our tool rest up. I do have to clean my bedways again. So get that. Get my safety glasses on. We'll move this back this way. And let's see what's picture in picture looking at. I was looking at that. What's this one looking at? Maybe this might be better. And we'll swing that in there. That's a bit, oops, wrong way. That's fighting my exposure setting. Oh well. I think it looks okay. One more a little bit this way. Get that tool rest in there. Speeds all the way down. Speeds up. Now I would turn this full speed or pretty close to full speed, but I find if I go over 2,000, it gets really loud. So I'm going to leave it there about 2,100. And a little spindle gouge. Too big of a bite. Point of my skew. Get a little depression for the drill bit. Got my live center in there, and it needs to come out. So yeah, there's not a lot of tooling, chisels, in other words, needed, which is nice. And that's one thing Cindy was talking about yesterday. I used a little spindle gouge. I'll probably use that for the most of the turning. So one of the comments I was going to make yesterday about this was that the best tool to use is the one you're most comfortable with. So if you're 40/40 3/8 gouge is your most comfortable tool, you'll probably pick that up most of the time. For me, I've got a 55-degree bevel bowl gouge. It's one of my favorites. I'll probably pick that up as well. And this little 3/8 inch spindle gouge is quickly becoming a nice one for me too. So if it's a tool you like to use, it's a tool you're comfortable using, then that works. So and then it's always good to try and teach yourself to use different tools. And so I've been doing that the last 2.5, 3 years with the 40/40 gouge, trying to figure that beast out a little bit. So speed on, we're going to turn the speed down to probably 1300. Sounds reasonable to me. I've got a mark on this. There we go. I'll turn it up so and get myself off there and push this way a little bit more. There's a black mark on this drill bit right there, and that's the depth of the mandrel. If we take the mandrel and hold it up there, it's right up to that black mark. So that's it. That's as deep as we want to go, just at that mark or just beyond. I'll bring it up slowly and then just let it sit there for a minute to kind of get the drill bit set. It's not moving any. Drill away. And we're done. That's nice and quick on that. And then now we can turn that around and put it on the mandrel. So let's do that. Let me just show a bit of that changeover. So if I was doing another of these, I'd probably just get the other one up here, drill a hole in it, and go to it. I'm just not sure I'm going to do. I've only got the 2 kits, so we'll leave it there. But you'd want to drill a bunch of them at once, probably. So here's the screw-on mandrel. I think they make them in different sizes, obviously, for different size lathes. This is 1 1/4 by 8. So I've got that little washer on there, so we'll leave that on there. This needs to kind of get there. Our live camera movements aren't the best. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Oh, I should have tapped this. That's what I was going to do. I missed a complete step. Let's do that. So this is why you need to do a whole bunch of them, so you kind of get everything done at once. And we'll put this back in. And we'll show you that little pin thing, that plunger mechanism. And I'll bring that in here, turn that off. So we'll take the drill bit out. Open this up. This, I think, is about a 3/8 inch shaft on it. We'll lock that guy in. And what it does, it gives us a bit of plunger space. I'm going to widen this out, move this down. Most tap handles have a little hole in the back here, and so that's used to register on this pin. So if I bring this up a little bit, put that hole in that pin, that gives me some plunger depth on my threading or tapping. So if I bring that up, I want to squeeze that down until it's almost closed. That'll give me about 5/8 of an inch throw. So now I need to lock the spindle head. I've got a little makeshift lock on my Powermatic. And now as I'm twisting, this is pushing in. So I also use a little bit of that way force with my handles, but it's nice and square. And so in wood, a bottoming tap I don't have any problem starting. In fact, I do this on my LEO drives when I need to tap them. And so we get to the end, and we're down pretty close to the end. I got a couple more turns, and I'll bottom out. They're bottomed out. I can't really go any further, so I'll back it off. Slowly try not to torque this thing, just go even until I get back into that pin, and that'll keep it nice and steady for me. So now I'm back engaged here. So this helps just keep your tap handle nice and straight so that you're not wandering around a little bit. And get a little brush, clean all that stuff out. And now we're done with that guy. And now we can reverse this. And let me get back over here. Undo the lock. Oh, I thought I undid that. Didn't undo that. There we go. And now this should thread on nicely. It's pretty dark down there. There. That's on there nice. I didn't even true this up on the chuck. We can true it up now. We could have trued it up then, but we'd have to true it up here anyway. So, all right. So I have no idea what kind of. Gosh, more of that guy. Why is he still there? There we go. That worked this time. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Going back up. So it's Carl's fault. Yeah. Price of fame. I don't know about that. Okay. Let's see. That's a neat gadget. That little, I don't know what it's called. I have to look it up on MSC when I got it, but they're not expensive. You can probably find them at Amazon as well. And let's see. What else we got here? Tap guide. Could be. Yeah. Something like that. And Todd, there are 3 dots. Okay. I did just do that. Thank you. I did find that. I tried it the first time. It didn't work, but it worked the second time. 19 on Amazon. I think there are various sizes. Yeah. So, yeah, excellent. So, you want one that's going to fit your Jacobs chuck, right? So, this is a 1/2 inch, I think, or maybe 3/8. Yeah, 1/2 inch. And so that fits my Jacobs chuck just at the maximum. The throw on these are the ones I've found have been typically around 5/8 of an inch. If you can find longer, I don't know if you need it, but that's all I've needed. Certainly helped me a lot in tapping straight. So good find there. Let's move on. We've got 15 minutes left. I've been yammering on here. So we're going to do a similar design. Probably nothing too fantastic. I want to talk a little bit about the friction finish and what to do there. So got my little spindle gouge out. I may grab my little bowl gouge as well. Got a little 3/8 bowl gouge. This one's 55-degree bevel long wings. The spindle gouge is a 1/2 inch and kind of a fingernail grind. So we'll use both. I'll use this probably for bulk removal and shape. I'll probably do a similar type shape, just simple enough to grab as a bottle stopper, sort of thing. So. Do I need tailstock support? You could do it, definitely. I'm going to do it without just to show you that maybe it can. And doesn't necessarily need to have tailstock support. It's not rattling too bad for me at this point. It's not chattering, making too much complaint. This is a bit big. So I'm going to peel a little bit with a bigger tool. I had my big 5/8 bowl gouge out here from another demo. Its edge is pretty much shot from that demo, so let's grab another 1/2-inch tool. See how this one works. Oh, this one's nice and sharp. So I'm going to waste some diameter. I don't need all of it. It's too big for what I want. There we go. And maybe that would help a little bit. What does this one look like? Just framing up another shot to see if that's going to do any better. You let me know which one you like, maybe. All right, so let's tuck that rounded end in. Remove some waste. It's kind of looking like a pawn right now for a chessboard. What I want to do is bevel this back, this area, so I'm going to tighten up a little bit on this shot. Back here, I'll put that board back down so you can kind of see down there. Oops, wrong tool. Got my little spindle gouge, and I'm just going to bevel this edge down. This is where that plastic sort of washer down there can help protect your tip of your tool instead of hitting the metal. But I would like it to be a bigger size. So, Carl, if you're listening, get little spacer washers that fit closely to the thread and give you some space between the wood and the mandrel. I think that would be a fantastic idea. And size them to the size of the top of the stopper. So I know this may be maybe off topic, but if we had washers that fit tightly onto this thread and were sized exactly here, then we know exactly what size to make down here. And I know your mandrels mostly are, but some stoppers have a much wider base or skinnier base, such as this guy, this bottle opener. So something to think about. I know others will probably give me other feedback, but since you're in the audience, why not? All right, so let's plane this bulb down a little bit. Maybe we'll make a nice cove in there at the bottom of this ball. This is a little bit too big still, I think. This is just eyeballing. Eyeballing a sphere shape, if you will. Looking for those high spots. Right there. And this one down here. Not too bad. I got one high spot right in here. I'm going to just cut a little fillet right in there. And this is too big. I was going to, oops, you guys have been mistreated. Sorry about that. Get my head down, start turning. I forget to look. So I'm just kind of taking my hand on this to see. That feels actually pretty good. So I think I might, from a shape perspective, I might be okay. I'm just going to clean up some of this on the end here, in here. And I think maybe I'll put maybe just a few lines in there with the skew tip. Let me get around to this tip here. Yep, not bad. Got one line down in there. I want to take a skimming cut off of this guy. Maybe another one. And then a little bit of sanding, and we'll call that kind of done. I've got dust collector hood coming up. I'm trying to get this edge of the paper not to touch the top of that fillet, so only the ball area. Close my other gate. Then just a quick, maybe pinky sized sand in there. Try not to touch that fillet. And it's done there. That was 180. So we'll stop there. I'm going to take a look at a couple of friction polish things. And normally I would sand this higher, and maybe I will. It won't take long, but I've got the old Hut Crystal Coat, which this has been sitting in the shop for far too long, but I think I can still shake it up and make it usable. But that's been sitting in the shop for probably at least 7-8 years, maybe longer. This Mohawk Woodturner's friction polish. I think this used to be one of the Balin's products, and Mohawk bought them. I've used this and it works pretty well, so I'm going to try that today. I'm going to sand a little bit more. I think it says to at least 800 grit. I'm not going to go that high. I'll probably go to 400. So we'll see how that works. So a quick sand. Maybe I'll just do the sphere shape with the sanding. Get my dust collector on again. That stuff's. This fan behind me is blowing it kind of towards me a little bit. So this is Merca Gold from Steve Worcester over Turning Wood. My pinky seems to be at the right size to get in there. So. $240, $320. Oh my gosh. What is this guy blowing the place up? Sorry about that, folks. Nick is asking, hey Todd, where can I get that chuck and what is it called again? I know it's an Axminster. Yeah, so this is Nick, this is the Axminster SK100. So it's the medium-sized chuck they carry. It comes with a integral sized spindle, so you have to make sure you buy the right size for your lathe. And the jaws are the O'Donnell jaws, the 3-in-1 kit. So you can get these jaws as 50 millimeters, 38 millimeters, and 25 millimeters. Or you can get this kit where you've got this little screw hole. And here is how it looks. This is the 25 millimeter jaw. So you take this piece out, put this in, and you got smaller jaws. So I do like this kit. It's handy, it's versatile, and it's a quality chuck. The wood turning store. So I get a lot of confusion from that. Steve Fulgoni up in New York operates the wood turning store. He's the current exclusive distributor for Axminster in the U.S. And I'm wood turning tool store. So I get a lot of calls about how do I get this chuck. So, and I've also gotten calls on, I bought this from you, blah, blah. And anyway, so the two different companies, the wood turning store up in New York, Steve Fulgoni, and the wood turning tool store is me. So hopefully that helps, Nick. We will, that's me. And go to Steve's store and you can get, in fact, I just bought and they had a sale after, it might still be going. I don't know, you can check it. They had a 10% off sale on Axminster products. They had AW special. And so I picked up another SK100 or SK114 with deep hollowing jaws. So I got that just recently, just a week ago. And then I also got the gripper jaws as well for it. So, and so yeah, I'm excited to try this. I got some nice size, medium sort of sized logs that I'm going to turn into hollow forms. So we'll see how that goes. That may be a future live stream. So, all right. So let's get on with friction polish. Oops. Oh, I've got to sand one more grit. 320. I think I did that right. 400. This question. So. Do you typically glue in stoppers or just leave threaded? I think it kind of depends. I've left them just threaded, actually not stoppers. I made some of those meat pounder things, these kits that Niles Stopper sells. These are great gifts, by the way. I love these things. These big metal discs, they've got a little threaded stud, and so you make a handle and this is like a chicken or garlic press, big pounder. They got a meat tenderizer one with all the spikes on the bottom, and apparently a coffee press. But these ones I leave I don't glue these in because I want the customer able to take these off and throw them in the dishwasher, leaving the handle off. So these I wouldn't glue in. The bottle stoppers, I think you can do whatever you see fit. Glue them in. In the past, I think I've glued them in, but on these ones I may not, and just so I can swap them around, see what wood looks good with which color, because I do have the gold color and the silver color stopper, so I'll see what looks good. Good question though. I see. Yeah. Yeah. So let's get on. Sorry, I'm delaying here. Get my pinky out again. It's about the right size. Get down in the corner there. We'll stop there. I'm going to grab a couple of paper towels. And all right, this is going to be difficult for me to read. Shake well, sand, apply a small amount to a soft cloth, lint-free paper, apply the turning at slow speed, and an even end-to-end motion. Use a clean cloth, soft cloth, lint-free paper towel, remove the remaining residue, repeat until desired. So pretty simple, straightforward. So I'm just going to use half of one of those. Fold, a little pad. Shaking the stuff. Watching the chat, making sure nobody's there. I will, while we're shaking this up, I will show SWAT is coming up. It was mentioned before. This is just a picture of the website. Go there, swatturners.org. And August 26th, 27th, 28th in Waco. Should be a lot of fun. So we'll be there. In fact, all of the 6 vendor showcase vendors are going to be there. So myself, Cindy, Lyle, Joe Fleming, Steve Worcester, and John Jordan. So we're looking forward to that. So I had a little bit on there. I'm going to turn the speed all the way down and just turn on slow speed. Kind of get that gooped on. I'm going to get a bit more in here. Didn't say to put a sanding sealer, but I imagine that would be an okay thing to do as well. I think I got plenty on there, so I want to kind of get under this lip a little bit too. And then a clean, dry cloth. That's already dry, so I'm going to turn the speed up and just kind of grab it and create some heat. Get my towel thrown. So it gets nice and warm in the hand. Gets a little bit of sheen going. And we'll do another coat. Oh, I've got this pad down here. I'll reuse it. Fold it over. So friction polishes all kind of work the same, I think, in that there's some finish in here. There's probably some shellac and there's some wax typically. So a mixture of different things for a friction polish, and solvents that allow it to dry quickly. So between the three of those things, you end up getting a seal and a shiny finish, with a bit of speed and heat. Speed that creates the heat on the lathe, and they work quite well. So we're getting a nice sheen built up here. We'll stop and take a look and see how it looks. It's not bad. It's about a semi-gloss right now. So I think we could probably put another coat on and get a sort of a gloss and a bit more coverage or protection. The little fine details, you will get sort of some clogged finish in there. So depending on what kind of details you have showing down there, you may not want to put that up there. Why is that one so dark? I don't know. I guess that's all the light it gets. Wrong way. Sorry, I'm pushing it out of the way. That's a low f-stop sort of lens, unfortunately. Let's get zoomed in, out, back in. Focus. It's not focusing. It's focusing on the flag. This gives it some contrast to focus on. So there we go. It's got nice grain down there. I'm kind of happy with that. So let's buff that out now at speed. So other finishes you could use, like I said, the Hut Crystal Coat, the Shello Wax. I used that for a long time. I ran out of that tub. It's expensive stuff, though, coming from Australia. And then there's some UK imports, the Yorkshire Grit stuff. So that would work well. One of the things I did on the other one is I just put a little coat of Renaissance wax on top. So this gives me just another little extra layer of sheen on this guy. So we'll rub some wax on there. A little bit more. This is a hard sort of restorer's wax, if you will. But I've had this tin for probably 12 years anyway. Keeps very well. And then I'm going to just rub that in slowly. Where'd that wax go right there? Just to kind of get it all around. And then we'll buff it out here in a second. And then we'll be done. Okay, I got a fresh side of that paper towel. Get some speed. I get back there. Underneath there is a bit of wax buildup. Let's see what it looks like with gold. They're not too bad. build up some more friction polish layers on that guy. It would look good, but I think oak is underrated. I do like oak. You get these nice ray fleck patterns on the cross grain, which is kind of interesting. That's gold. Let's see. If I swap these around, see what they look like. And let me see if the other camera has a... Yep, this is going to be the best one. So, and so next week I'll do another one, maybe a different shape, and we'll look at some texturing and maybe coloring some of that texture like I did here. There's gold. Maybe that's better with that light bulb. And this might be better with the plain wood. Yeah. So there you go, a couple of different shapes. And like I said, these are great projects to test out different shapes, test your tooling technique with cutting coves or fillets, doing some different finishing techniques, coloring, texturing, and then different woods, as Cindy's going to show in a couple of weeks. So, and then a couple of weeks after that, I will be looking at doing some resin type inlay. So I'm just going to go back up. Scott is here. Hi, Scott. Good to have you here. Chuck says, I'll be stopping by for some whiskey barrel stoppers at SWAT. Excellent. Yep. I need new bottle of friction polish. My bottle disappeared off the tool table in my demo room. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. Oops. And let's see, but some take 24 hours to cure to prevent fingerprints. Yeah, absolutely true. I rushed this, Mike, for sure. And Mary Alice, what size is the wood? The blank I started with is something about this size, maybe a bit smaller. Let me measure that for you, Mary Alice. So we have 1 3/4, 1 7/8, 1 3/4, 1.5 is going to work for you. I'll measure those and see, and then 2 to 2.5 inches. Sorry, 2 to 2.5 inches long. I've got a small tenon on them already, so this guy, if we kind of take an eyeball look at it, 1.5 inch diameter here, which seems to be about a good size to fit the fingers. For me, I got bigger hands, so something a bit bigger. If your smaller hands a bit more delicate, maybe something a bit more, a bit more, not less clunky, I suppose. And the length on this is just over 2 inches. So make it a 2.5 inch long, 1.5 inch square or round blank. I think that will do you. This is about the same, 2.5 full length almost, and eyeballing probably 1.5 inches, maybe 1 3/4 or 1 5/8. So good thoughts there. Let's see, what do we got? Stopper blanks usually 1.5 by 1.5 by 2. Yeah, I would go 2.5 long, just in case you want to go something longer. But yeah, thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it. And hodgepodge, maybe 3 inch long. Now that I think about it, yeah, somewhere in between. That sounds good. Nice, Todd. Thank you. Appreciate it, Cindy. And Scott, nice stopper. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you all stopping in. And before we go, I will just remind folks of a couple of things. My live stream is going to be, next week, so this doesn't quite work. So next week, I'll turn that off if I can. Yeah, there we go. Next week, I'll be back Friday just to get us on schedule. And if I show that again, there we that's not it. That's it. Beside me here, I will be back on the 29th, which is next week. That's really just to get us back, Cindy and I, on every week, swapping back and forth. So 29th, we'll see you then, 2:30 Central Time, August 4th, Thursday, 1 p.m., and then back to Friday, 2:30, and then back to 1 on Thursday. So that's kind of the schedule we'll be looking at. So, and then I also wanted to show, let me just put, not that up for a second. And yeah, so there's Cindy's Thursday. Check her. It's important if you go and subscribe to our YouTube channels, you should get notified. You hit the bell, so that helps a lot. And this is our 6. I'm putting on too many things at once. Sorry about that. I'm trying to find the other one. There it is. So Cindy's tomorrow. She's got a sharing session at 2 p.m. Eastern. Got to get that right, I think. So sign up to her newsletter, and you can join in on that. That's a Zoom meeting tomorrow. Next Saturday, the 30th of June, she has her next IRD, which is the finial and pedestals, which is part 2 or session 2 of her 4-part series on lidded containers. So check that out. Any of the tools I'm using, most of them, there's a few tools I use that I don't carry. Obviously, I don't carry the Niles BottleStoppers. Go there to get those, and we'll look for you to find other cool stuff here at Woodturning Tool Store. So let's see. That is about it. That's all I had to show. So last thing, we're done for today. I went a little bit over time, but that was me babbling on. I just want to thank you all for dropping in. Phillips, good night. Thank you for coming in and staying so late. And other than that, I will say good afternoon, good evening to all, and stop your wine or drink it either way. We'll see you next week. We'll do another episode, and then we'll jump back to Cindy after that. And it should be a lot of fun. Go and turn a few, and share along with us if you want to. It'd be great to see you again. This is Todd from Woodturning Tool Store saying goodbye, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now. And hit the button. There we go. Bye, everybody.